from Stotters, Sal from Bagos, who's on the verge of joining the dream team. I can now disclose to all the fans listening. We're going to go over some questions, and first of all, actually, we want to start off by mentioning the champions, Cumnock boys. Big congratulations to the Cumnock boys for winning against Beechwood, which is a tight game. Could have went either way. But Cumnock boys remain champions of 2024 Big Bro Soccer Premier League. We also want to talk about today the over 35s and the race for the title, which is between, I mean, the way the current table looks at the moment. Well, it's Rose Hill United, the dream team, fighting for that top spot. I was sitting with one of the players from Hera Perry the other day, Lee, who plays centre back. For all you fans listening, I'm sure you know who Lee is. He's a born winner. He's mentioned that they've got to play the dream team 3 times. They've got to play Rose Hill United twice, and they've also got to play Old Shields. And they think they can go and win and beat all these teams and go on and win the title. You can leave your comments, guys, below of what you think of that news just coming in. Some of the questions also we're going to go through is how to join next season. Now, obviously, there is a website link for the guys that don't know. You can go on right now, go onto the website, go on to register your team, and obviously going on to the tabs that tells you which venue you would like to play in. Now, I was speaking to some of the teams, and they've mentioned that they want to be playing in 2 venues, possibly goals and Super Soccer. I mean, a lot of the requests we've got from the fans or from the people listening is Super Soccer seems to be the winner at the moment for the complex that people want to be playing at. But all the registration's open and all the links are there for Pro Soccer up in Rook and Glen. There's also Play Sport in East Kilbride and the Soccer World in the East End. And then there's Goals in Shawlands, and then it's here in Super Soccer. We're also doing pre-season tournaments, which are going to be 21st of May in Kicks up in Rook and Glen. 28th. Sorry, this is April. Sorry, isn't it? This is going to April, May. Yeah. Yes. 28th of May, East Kilbride. And then Goals Shawlands on the 5th of May. And then Super Soccer on the 12th of May. Yeah, I think the other 2, the Kicks and the East Kilbride ones, are actually going to be on the 21st of April.
On the 28th of April.
Yeah, 28th of April. So you can also sign up for that, guys, on the website. There's also, if you just click on register, it tells you for the pre-season tournaments as well. This gives you a wee chance to go in. And also for the new teams that are going to be joining, for you guys to have a wee try and maybe see where you guys are and which division you want to play in, because there will be obviously a Premier League in each venue. There'll also be a Division 1 in each venue, and there'll also be an over 35s in each venue, and we're also looking to start up in under 21s, which we have got a few interested at the moment. And we're also looking to do in these competitions, in these leagues, across all the venues, is the Champions League, which will be for cash prizes, and also the Europa Cup. So, from a player's perspective,
yes,
you got any questions you'd like to ask? And obviously there is a list of questions that people have been commenting on the comment section. If you just go and check.
Yeah. So these pre-season tournaments that you mentioned about, how will they progress? So how do the tournaments actually go ahead from the start to end? What is the process?
So I've got my man Naz here who's going to come in and explain to the listeners about the tournaments and the process of the tournaments and how they're going to be taking place on the day.
Okay, so the tournaments are a way of sort of pre-season tournament. There's going to be a tournament held in each of the 5 venues. The structure on the day is going to be quite simple, but also unique as well. Most of these tournaments that you play around about Glasgow, but after the group stages, you're out. However, with the Big Bro Soccer, it's our first day tournaments that we're hosting. So the tournaments will start at 1 p.m. Group stages will run, and after the group, so 16 teams, sorry, I should mention, is the maximum per venue. So it's first come, first serve. So from the 16 teams, there'll be 4 groups of 4. They'll each play a 12-minute game group stage, and then followed by a 15-minute quarter-final. What we're going to do is, rather than just having 1 cup, we'll be having 2 cups. So from the 4 groups, the top 2 will go through to create an 8-man quarter-final for Champions League, but rather than the other 8 teams going up the road, those 8 teams will still kick around and they'll play a quarter-final for the Europa Cup. So there'll be 2 cups running, and we reckon that semi-finals will be played by 2 o'clock, finals by 2:40, and then 3 p.m. and an award ceremony.
Yeah.
And that's that done. So it'll be £200 cash prize for the Champions League, £100 for the Europa League, and it's £95 to register your team, and it's up to 9 players, and the registration is now open as well.
Okay, and another question we've been getting from a lot of the guys is they're asking about the sponsorship and how the sponsors work, and how the some of the guys were asking to sponsor a team as well, and how the process works.
So to sponsor a team, what we're doing is we're offering businesses a sort of unique opportunity to get their brand exposure through sort of riding the wavelength of our next marketing campaign. We're getting a lot of follows on YouTube, a lot of engagement with our videos. So that presents an opportunity for brands to sort of get involved with that. So we're offering packages where businesses can sponsor a team of their choice, a venue of their choice, and become front of strip sponsor for that team for 1 year. So that will cover a minimum of 2 seasons and potentially up to about 4 or 5 tournaments as well. There'll be other perks as well for being sponsors, such as backlinks on our website, shout outs on our social media channels. I mean, the engagement this league's getting is huge. I mean, that Cumnock Beechwood game, and also remember the MYF Beechwood game, there was upwards of 70, 80 people watching these games. So imagine being a sort of front of strip sponsor at one of these games for the prices that we're offering for the whole year. I think we certainly won't be these prices next season, I'd imagine.
Yeah, and another question that some of the guys were asking was end of the season. Actually, I've got a comment here in one of the sections here. They're asking, when is the Champions League final?
So the Champions League final, well, we might as well announce it just now. So we've got a grand sort of award ceremony that we're planning for the end of the season. During this award ceremony, we'll be awarding Cumnock Boys the Premier League title, their trophies, medals. The Beatables under Arif will also be receiving the Division 1 title. And of course, the over 35s has still maybe got about 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks to run.
Yeah. I mean, it could be Hera Perry, could be La Dream Team, it could be Rosehill United, and some might say it could be Stotters.
I think the Nassim brothers are probably a bit hopeful here. I think it's probably safe to say we can go ahead and get the over 35 trophies engraved with Rosehill, I would probably think.
Oh, shot fired. Oh, Harry's listening to this.
No, the over 35s, definitely life left.
Definitely mint it because he's got another plan.
Yeah, there's definitely life left in the over 35s. Hera Perry have obviously got a lot of games in hand, so they're kind of in a bit of a disguised position. Stotters, Old Shields, Bockers, some battles going on there, and of course now Still Game is now being led by Mo.
Mo, yeah.
Yep. So again,
famous left-footed goal.
Yeah. Yep. His short that's actually got now about 10,000 views.
Yeah, his shorts went viral, man.
So he's taken over Still Game. So there's some life injected into Still Game. So all to play for with the over 35s.
What's this? I've just got another comment in here. Hold on. Someone saying, "Come on, the Dream Team." Yes. There's another one here. Hold on. What about Hera Perry Jeff.
Heriperi, of course, are in the cup final against Stoters in the Europa League.
Yes.
So if we can rewind back to the initial question, you were asking when the Champions League
When is
final
the Champions League final? Yeah.
So we'd like to announce a proper award ceremony where all the teams, the league winners, will all receive their cups. There's individual awards for goalkeeper of the season, player of the season. So there'll be many awards that getting given out. But to make the night special, we're going to have 4 big games on the one night. We're going to play the Champions League final, the Europa League final. We're going to have our Premier League champions, Cumnock boys, face a select Big Bro Soccer 11, which will be asking our players to help us select. And there'll be a 15-minute fourth game. 15-minute fourth game where we'll have a Super Cup. So the winners of the Champions League will play the winners of the Europa League for maybe a 15-20-minute game. And then that remaining 40 minutes that we've got on the pitch, we'll have the awards immediately after the 4 games. So we're hoping for a big turnout. And we'll maybe see if we can try and get some food organised
for the day,
and have a proper closing down ceremony. And I'd like to think that'd be sort of a tradition that we do every season. Where we have those 4 games, end of the season, big cup competition night out.
Yeah, and this will be in Super Soccer, yeah.
A good question. I think. Well, of course, yeah. This season,
this
season will obviously be at Super Soccer. But once we run over the 5 venues, we'll essentially need to have 5 parties.
Yeah, true. Obviously to do the awards right across.
Yeah.
And one of the questions someone was asking, would we do an interlinked Champions League between the venues?
We're looking at the possibility of maybe taking so after each. So imagine the next season's going to start at the end of May. Say we do that by May, June, July, August. So say in September time the sort of season's finished. I would like to try and do something where we take the 5 Premier League champions or the 5 Champions League winners across all complexes. Because essentially with a couple more complexes, we could essentially be crowning the best teams in Glasgow.
100%.
I mean, if we've got 5 venues with about 20 teams.
I mean, how competitive was that Cumnock versus Beechwood game?
Yeah.
Honestly, just being there live. I know the guys watched on YouTube, some of the guys, but actually being there live, you could actually feel the tension. And the best thing about it was the fair play that was involved in the game, honestly.
That was definitely a positive to see because there was a lot of...
It was tight. It was 3-2 as well. Aye,
there was a lot at stake, you know, and there was some penalties given. There was some maybe refereeing decisions that maybe the guys didn't agree with. But the one thing I noticed is that after every challenge where there was a free kick, there was always hands getting shook at the end of it. That's always good to see. Yeah.
So I've got another question, sorry, for one of the guys. He's saying normally the Europa League final, this guy called Farouk Ahmed, there's no picture of him on the comments, but normally the Europa League final is played before the Champions League. People would want to watch both games on different nights. What do you say to that?
I think we're going to give people the chance to see both the Europa League and the Champions League final on the same night.
First time in history.
First time in history, yep. So we don't quite know what the schedule is going to be for the 4 games.
Yeah.
But we'll certainly have all 4 games on the one night. So there's obviously going to be 2 games running at the same time. So it might be that it's the Cumnock boys versus the Big Bro Select on one pitch, and then the Champions League's on the other pitch.
Yeah.
And then for the next hour, we get the Europa League Cup and maybe the... Yeah, so there's a scheduling problem there, but certainly you're going to have to be... We're going to have pitch 1 and 2 booked at Super Soccer.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to sort of maybe like...
Probably be 1 hour after each other, isn't it? The kind of Europa League.
There probably need to be stagnated because you can't have people hanging about here for 2 or 3 hours.
True.
So we'll probably have 1 hour where we get 2 games, and then the second hour where there's another game, and the 20-minute cup final, and then the 40-minute presentation. So about a 2-hour day.
I've got another comment here. Hold on. I think the commentator was better than the game.
Jeff got his own wee fan.
Wait, funny enough, it's actually Jeff that's making these comments.
Oh, is it? All right.
Go on, Jeff.
No, Jeff's doing a wonderful job. The amount of people that have been complimenting his commentary, and of course, Jeff's in charge of the transfer market. So all these stories that we're seeing on the website is all coming from Mr. Moaz, i.e. Jeff himself. So if anybody wants to know what's going on in the Big Bro Soccer market, he's the man to speak to.
Got another wee message coming in here saying who's playing in both finals and who you reckon is winning it.
So we've got the Europa League final, which is between Stoters and Terry. And then we've got the Champions League, which is still at the semi-final stages. So we've got 4 teams left. We've got the Beechwood versus the Dream Team.
Come on, the Dream Team.
And we've got Bayern Brew versus Beatables. So let's just assume that Beechwood are through to the final. And Bayern Brew versus Beatables.
Well, I was speaking to the Beatles manager downstairs, Arif.
Yeah.
And he's confident.
Yeah.
I mean, he knows what he's playing up against, and he even knows that they're probably going to be bringing in some good players for this game that they've already signed, that they've not played. So they're going to play them for the big game, which is the semi-final. So it should be a cracker, actually. Now we're going to move on to some of the.
No, we need to answer the question.
Oh, sorry.
So
What was the
we just
question?
want to analyze the finals. So
Right.
I suppose we can only really analyse the Europa League final, and I might be biased
right,
because
that's
obviously
it,
it's Stoters versus Heriperi.
Yeah.
There's rumours going about that apparently when Stoters beat Heriperi in the last league game, that Manny had fielded a weakened side. I'll be fair to him; it probably is true. There was a good maybe 2 or 3 key players missing, but I think with those players back in Stoters at its full capacity, I think it's going to be a tough game. Tough game for both teams.
You know, I think it'll be a brilliant game. Aye.
It'll be a good game to watch.
Yeah. I think as well, if Hadji plays for Stoters, that's a big plus. And Heriperi, was it Jeffro? I think
Jeffro, aye.
Jeffro
And Artie.
Azam. I like the way Azam and Jeffro. If they two are playing firing on the night, then it could be if they're in for a busy night.
100%.
So I think,
and obviously the Champions League we don't know yet. Aye. So,
Champions. Well, if we would try and say so, I mean, do the Dream Team actually have a chance?
Yes.
No, but take your
Yes.
Dream Team.
Yes. We've got Sal here to tell us.
So Cumnock boys were unable to do it for £1,000 cash prize in the Premier League.
I mean, are the Dream Team the only team to beat Cumnock this season?
Is that true?
Potentially.
No, potentially.
Is that true?
Yeah, that is true.
Wow. So true story. The Dream Team are the only team to beat Cumnock this season.
Yep.
And so,
2 facts right there.
And so Stoters smashed you guys. So does that make Stoters capable of beating?
Yeah, which was a fluke. It was a fluke.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was played out the 3rd time and we've seen exactly what happened.
Yeah. I think Beechwood. I think Ted did say to me at the end of that game against Cumnock that he'll just go for the Champions League now. He's got the cup.
Yeah.
So who's in front of him? They've got an over 35s team.
Yeah.
Beatables and Bayern Brew.
Who bet Cumnock? Who bet them? So it's. It's given us a chance.
I think Ted's got this. I think we've got Beechwood for the Champions League.
Big Minter, man. Come on, can't underestimate Minter.
Beechwood for the Champions League, Stoters for the Europa Cup, and then you've got the Super Cup, Stoters versus Beechwood.
That's the predictions.
A 20-minute.
That's Nad's predictions on this. There, you've heard it. Amen. We've got another few comments coming in. Stoters will win. You've got a fan, Nad. It's for a gamut.
Stoters will beat Heriperi. Okay.
And someone wants to hear Sal talk more.
Get Sal to talk more. Would love to hear his thoughts.
Sal, what is your plans going forward? So you're playing with Bragos, still signed with him.
Yeah.
But are you looking to? I mean, there is talks about you moving and
to an over 35 team. Yeah, there is. Hopefully that goes through because a move would be ideal for me. To be honest.
And are you looking to maybe play in over 35s next season? Yeah.
Yes.
And how old are you?
Class.
26.
26.
So yeah, is this a cop out? Is Premier League just not?
I think it's been an injury in it.
Yeah, due to a knee injury.
Yeah.
I've not been able to play up to my standards. So.
And you think the standards are low enough for you to join over 35s?
I think the standards in the over 35s are higher than the Premier League.
Yes.
Okay.
I think I would do quite well in over 35.
Will the Dream Team not just pick up Sal? You guys all get on well with each other.
Yeah.
He's a nice player.
Yeah, brilliant.
I must say, obviously, we've had a bit of banter between Stoters and stuff.
Who doesn't want the left-footed Pogba?
I will correct.
When they see it, that's it.
I will correct that. It was a bit of fun. Obviously, Sal was a brilliant player to have in your team, so it'll make any over 35s team better. So, will you take Sal? Eggy, or do you need to run it through the powers that be?
No, we'll take some. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
we've got a lot of signings lined up.
So do you want to just do the handshake now, and we'll just get them signed right now, live on air?
Yeah, but he's got obviously Bragos. He needs to have
Yeah.
a chat with them
I
and
want it to be a
want to
nice,
give him one.
clean
That sounds like a knockback.
transfer.
That
Yeah.
sounds like a
Clean
knockback.
transfer. We don't want to be broadcasting anything
We'll see if it is.
at the moment.
Right, okay.
Someone says get him at Still Game, and they're looking for players. Still Game.
Still game, we've got
Yeah,
a
that's Still Game.
players and left.
We've got a lot left-footed. That's right.
That's a moan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Aye.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work.
He goes,
No.
but they don't want them. That's brilliant. So we go back on
because
to
I feel
the.
like in the sense that they already have a very good left foot player, Mo.
Yeah.
To having like too many, you get me? It might be a bit of a
And that we're going to talk about next season.
Next season, yep, 26th of May.
Yeah. So this season, sorry. So this season we're looking to end possibly at the end of April, innit?
Yeah, I think you've probably
We're going to have to squeeze in the last few fixtures. Sorry, I think Hera Perry obviously because they joined late and the over 35s, they just need to catch up with their remaining fixtures. But the rest of them should all be done by the end of April. And then obviously the tournaments start kind of in May as well, early May.
Yeah, so the idea is that
We
they
also need to fit in the Champions League and the semi-finals. And obviously because of fasting, guys, we had to take a wee break. But some of the teams did. And some of the teams have continued playing, which is a good thing as well. Which means there will be less fixtures to complete after Ramadan.
Yeah, so the new season kicks off on the 26th of May. So the online registration is now open. So the way you go about registering is, first of all, just head over to the website, click on the leagues side of things. All you're doing right now is registering your captain details. So the captain will go in, put his name in, the team name, the preferences of where they want to play, what days and times. After they've done that, Big Bro Soccer will get in touch with them. They'll set up their official WhatsApp group, and then we will start to liaise with the captain in order to get his logo done. So the first thing is to get his logo done for the team, and then we will go ahead then and match that with a strip that has a sponsor, and then we will clarify that with the teams. Everybody's happy. Then the captain will pay half of the balance for his registration. So there's £100 registration fee per team. So go ahead and pay the £50, and then they'll pay the remaining balance before the deadline, which is 1 week before
The league starts.
start of the league.
Yeah.
With the registration fee, they're getting basically 5 free football tops for the
team,
the
yeah.
players, and that'll have their own customized badge, which will get used for the eternity.
Yep.
And they'll get entry into the Champions League and Europa League for that season, and they will also get exclusive content as well on YouTube. So every team has got a playlist dedicated to just all their videos. The leagues are going to run over 5 venues. So Super Soccer's back next season, Rook and Glen over in Kicks. We've got Goals in Shawlands, Soccer World in the East End, and Play Sport over in East Kilbride. At each of these venues, the Premier League, which Cumnock have just won, that'll be running on all 5 venues. We'll also have a Division 1, which Beatables have just won, and we'll have an over 35s. The one thing we're kind of changing with the structure next season is there will be a Division 1 at all venues, and also the over 35s will have a Division 1 as well. And the idea being that there'll be lots of teams out there that are very competitive, like your NYF, your Cumnock, your Beechwood, your Albos. These are all Premier League serious teams. So these guys can go and apply for Premier Leagues, whereas we're trying to encourage your average five-a-side guys that are just playing friendlies that are maybe struggling to get 10 players. Division 1 should be at a good level for these guys to kind of enter. There's lots of teams that haven't played in these leagues before, so Division 1's a great chance for them to get in. And of course, this season the over 35s have been hugely popular. There's just too many teams, so the Division 1 will be good for guys like maybe Craig Lang, who unfortunately had like a minus 200 goal difference, but still turned up every week because they loved playing the game. So so that's going to be the structure there. There'll be cash prizes as usual, and also end of the season awards as well, individual awards. The big thing with the Big Bro Soccer leagues going and trying to encourage people is it's all about fair play, safety, respect. The referees are going to be going through a lot of training. We've done a huge recruitment drive right now with referees, and we're trying to build this sort of centre of excellence for referees, which is our own sort of unique internal referee training programme, which we will need to put at least 20 people through in order to meet the demand for the leagues being run over 5 venues. And high on the agenda will be player safety. The job is not to let the game run. Their job is to stop it every time there's any nicks or any illegal challenges, using of the hands, any shove up the boards, all of that. Just that was one of the reasons why we didn't play in some of the leagues growing up as well. They were just way too rough. They say it's a contact sport, but in the Big Bro Soccer League, it's all about skill, and it's about that respect as well. We're not here rough and tough. So if you're a team out there that wants to come and try and rough and tough teams up, this is not going to be a league for you.
Yeah.
The referees are quite happy to show you a red card.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the new season, 26th of May, over 5 venues, registration open, get your teams in.
Perfect, man. And another question some of the guys were asking was jobs. Is there any, we've seen a few opportunities on the social media, on the website as well, about the referees. We're looking for referees and we're looking for a salesperson. And they're the only 2 jobs at the moment we've currently got going.
Yeah, hopefully there'll be more opportunities as we expand over the 5 venues. I mean, it's a lot of work running one league, so we're definitely going to need extra hands. But the 2 jobs that we've got advertised just now, one is a sales role. We've got a unique proposition for local businesses in terms of front of strip sponsorship. So there's good commission on anybody who wants to maybe get involved in maybe 0 pay, 100% commission job, or if they want an hourly pay. There's sort of 2 ways we can run it, but ultimately we're just looking for people to get out there, spread the word. We just don't have the capacity between ourselves to go out and speak to everyone. Like, I think we've got maybe like 20 different organisations at the moment that we're going back and forth with. So we really just need someone out there selling the packages. And we do feel that, as a salesperson, the product is sellable itself. So that's the sales role, selling partnership sponsorship. Even if you just know someone yourself, anyone listening to the video, if you know anyone that you think will benefit from that, then go ahead, get them to kind of get in touch with us. And if the sale comes through yourself, we're happy to pay that commission. The second job, of course, is the referees. We will be recruiting up to about 20 referees in order to meet the demand that we've got over the 5 venues. And as I referred to earlier on, we're going to be creating our own centre of excellence for referees. So
full training.
Yeah, I just don't think there's enough sort of resources out there to get people to come in and do a 1 or 2 hour shifts. So I think what we need to do is just sort of cast the net a bit wider, and let's see if we can maybe try and help some of the unemployed people that are maybe looking for a couple hours here and there, or maybe it's some retired folk that maybe want to just come out for a couple hours.
A new career path.
Yeah, do you mean? So I think trying to look for referees that are qualified, and it's so difficult. And also we did look at trying getting qualified referees. We're pricing us way out. It just doesn't meet the budget at the moment. So we're looking to kind of set our own academy of referees, get them trained up. So if you're somebody out there that's maybe thinking about, you'd like to get involved with refereeing, but you've no experience, or even if you are a referee, we've got obviously 5 venues with leagues running consistently over the summer. So it could potentially be a full-time job for someone that's willing to do that, or it could be maybe a couple hours a day. It's entirely up to the.
And one of the questions some of the guys were asking, is there a referee award at the end of the season for the best referee?
I think we should probably just put that out as a poll to the players. Who was? I mean, every referee got some serious stick. And it was, funnily enough, mainly from the losing teams.
Yeah.
But it'd be interesting to see from the players' point of view who they thought the best referee was.
Okay, and another thing is a new thing on the website. Which a lot of guys are asking me about downstairs now. If you can explain, what is BroView?
BroView is a sort of a new service that we've launched on the website at the homepage, where you can go in and basically request a YouTube short to be made. Ever since we started doing our YouTube channel at the turn of the year, I think we're now at about 140,000 views, and you know, the YouTube shorts have been hugely popular. And so we just sort of just pick randomly what shorts that we do, but we've been inundated with requests of catching people's goals. So what we've done to try and help speed that process up is we've put a wee forum on the website. So you can go ahead and you can just give us a link to the video that you're watching, give us the minute of the clip, and we'll do the rest. It's a great way. We've kind of titled it Creating Memories Together. And so there's already been about 10 or 15 requests that have gone in. AJ's video's already gone up. There's a good wrestling video that's gone up by some random that's requested.
That's funny.
So this is a chance for us to make sure that we don't miss any of the action. A lot of these people are enjoying seeing their footage for the first time in years. Like, it's never been done before. So if you have got a goal out there or a funny moment, then just go ahead, fill that forum out, and we'll get it uploaded. Some of these shorts are getting north of 10,000 views. So that's your bro view.
So that there's a comment here that says, "What's happening to MYF? You reckon the mighty have fallen?"
Oh.
And straight away someone goes, "MYF finished." What do you think about that?
So what was the first
And
question?
Alki's gone. Sakup's gone. Yeah, he's away to. You can't confirm he is away to Beechwood for an undisclosed fee.
Okay, so yeah, so what was the first question before someone rudely said that MYF were finished?
What?
It says, what's happening to MYF? You reckon the mighty have fallen?
Okay,
Have they fallen?
I mean, I don't know, probably
Are they falling?
Probably
What's
Eggy's probably a better person to answer this. Certainly from my view, is this is the first season where I've actually seen MYF up close and personal.
Okay.
Like, I've known like of individuals. Like, I mean, Sakub was one of my favourite players of all time. You know, and he unfortunately now he's been linked with the Beechwood. But the rest of the guys all looked like, you know, I've always grown up knowing about MYF, never really seen them up close. This season, unfortunately, I just felt there was a lot of negativity in there. There was a lot of, I don't know, just tension, negativity.
a lot
Probably
of
the
heat
best.
inside the team?
Towards the ref as well.
There was no coolness.
Just generally speaking, you know, it wasn't the MIF
Yeah.
sort of Adam. I thought, but I think there was a lot of competition, and I think they've just. I mean, they signed Timmy. I think they'll be fine. Like, they've got great players.
Yeah.
They've
He
just
was
got
a good
to.
player, yeah.
They've just got to get more players in. Like, that's. I think they'll be absolutely
Focus
fine.
on what they did last season.
Yeah, they won it last season.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And remember as well, this season we had a situation where you had group stages and then you split up and then you played
It's a different
each other
format.
once.
Totally. Aye.
Next season, I should mention, is that it'll be set. You'll play each other twice. So it'll be like a home and away.
Yeah.
So there'll be a cap on the number of teams.
I mean, it's one of the questions Saka was asking me the other day at the Nassim family dinner. He's asking me about Beechwood, and he goes, "We would love to have played them again because you know that day we didn't have our full strength squad, and so yeah, I mean, definitely for next season that's going to be. I think you're going to be playing each team twice. Aye.
That added to the intensity, only playing each other once. You know, I think Ted mentioned it as well, but I think it was just because it was
because we were trying to get the playoffs done and to kind of create, because there was like 20 teams that entered.
Yeah,
into the Premier League at the beginning, and then we had to split up.
We didn't want a situation where teams were turning up and just getting beat every week. So the split made sense because it made it more competitive. You remember what those 10 teams were in that Premier League?
Yeah.
It was nuts.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, show me teams in Glasgow that are better than the top 5 that we had in that Premier League.
True.
So I think the question with MIF is that no, they're not finished. They've got some brilliant players still there. I'm sure Omar and the boys will get it sorted. If they lose Sakub,
I did offer Omar, the captain of MIF, to join the dream team.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think that would be a really good signing for the dream team,
as
well as bringing in Sal.
What would happen with the MIF then?
Bringing maybe AJ is in talks as well, with AJ from Boca Seniors. He could potentially be joining the dream team next season as well. So, I mean, Sal, you've been wanting to play for Dream Team for a while after seeing their performances recently, especially against Stores. You were really impressed with their football.
All the experience they have on the pitch.
And that famous Eggy
cameo. The ex-pro,
Yeah.
It would be amazing to play with them, correct, yeah. To be able to learn and improve myself with all the experience these guys have.
Brilliant. And the Stoters are scheduled to play next week, aren't they, still? For the over 35s are still going on during Ramadan.
Yeah.
So there's big games actually on the Wednesday coming up.
Should we run through the games that are actually on then? So, because I think there's a few questions in the WhatsApp groups as to what fixtures are pending, what's coming up. So, what is the next games? What have we got coming this week?
So you've got coming on Wednesday, the 27th of March, Rosehill United take on Boca Seniors. And then we've also got on the same day, a 9 p.m. kickoff, both of them, Stoters versus Old Shields.
So that's on Wednesday.
Yep, 2 games on Wednesday. And then we're
So
going to
if
be...
you remember the last time Stoters and Old Shields played, Old Shields tried to walk off the pitch.
Was that right?
Yeah, we were all over them. I think we were maybe drawn at the time 4 each. And they felt the referee was maybe being biased for some bizarre reasons. And there was only...
You played Old Shields once or twice?
I think we might have... I think it's only been once, maybe.
Is it? You still to play them twice?
I remember that game though because the referee really should have just blown the whistle and gave us the win. But there was one player left on the pitch, and I was just about to say to the referee, just blow the whistle. And fair play to the referee. The referee calmed it all down, got them back onto the pitch, and then they were on and beat us. They were on to beat us 5-4.
This is Old Shields, sorry.
Old Shields, yeah.
But the week after, we've got...
and so obviously then you Rosehill and Bockers as well. Bockers are on to a bit of a game now. I don't know if you've seen the AJ YouTube short, but that guy's a demon on the pitch. The way he played against Stoters the other day was just unreal. If he carries on doing that and he brings that same team with that goalkeeper and the Gary,
the goalkeeper was unbelievable, and Gary was brilliant.
Gary, our former referee,
as well as Yusuf as well, had a great game.
They're all good. So yeah. I think I hope that Boca Seniors beat Rosehill, and I feel bad saying that for Tony and the boys, but imagine if Boca Seniors have found a new lease of life and all of a sudden just got an absolute rampage in the over 35.
Both teams are on the back of winning. Obviously, Rosehill United bet still game last week, 20 goals to 4.
Yeah.
They meant business. And Boca Seniors obviously bet Stoters 7-4. And still game are in action the week after, and they'll be playing Boca Seniors on the Wednesday, the 3rd of April.
So and then, is that just then 1 week after? So the only 2 games this week we've got are them?
Yep.
So what about the guys?
So obviously, there's Hera Perry, there's the Dream Team. They both are not playing during Ramadan.
Right, so and still game have also a game this week.
Still game, obviously, because of the Craig Lang have left.
Yeah, so can we maybe not get Hera Perry to play still game this week?
No, because Hera Perry can't play during Ramadan.
Also,
yeah. Hera Perry are not playing at all.
Right, okay,
yeah, so this is why the still game and the Boca Seniors game will be in the week after, on the 3rd of April. And then also on the 3rd of April will be Rosehill United versus Old Shields. Wow.
So if we preview that then for the following week, so Bockers versus still game, I think that's probably a statement game. Both teams have obviously been rejuvenated with obviously Bockers finding some new players and still game get their new captain. So both of these teams actually were kind of regarded as the teams that were finishing above Craig Lang, to be fair, a few weeks ago. But I think they'll feel offended if you say that to them now, because both of these teams will probably think they're equally, if not better, than Stoters and the Old Shields.
Yep.
And then, of course, then the next game, Rosehill versus Old Shields, also on the 3rd of April, the following Wednesday.
That's going to be, their first game.
Old Shields are
the only team to beat Rosehill United in the league.
Correct.
Except for obviously in the cup where beatable was won by 1 goal, I think 9-8, I think it was in the cup competition. But that's the only game in the over 35s Rosehill United have lost to Old Shields.
Yeah, so and then they played
again. Up to Old Shields.
Yeah, they played again, of course.
Where I come from.
And Rosehill beat them. So that'll be the 3rd game that they've played. And imagine now then, so if Rosehill lose against Bockers and then Old Shields beat them again the following week, we might need to get a new trophy, because I've already got it engraved with Rosehill.
Yep, and then we've obviously scheduled in the games after Ramadan, because they're obviously going to be Eid. And then the week after, we've scheduled in the last 2 Premier League games that were remaining: Cricket versus Albos and Bayern Brew versus Bregos.
Come on, even though the Premier League is done,
Yeah.
These will be good games to watch. And of course, all the recordings are still getting done as well. So
Yeah.
it's a good way to just finish the season off, boys, and then get ready to go again the 26th of May.
Yeah, and then after that, we're just going back and forward with the teams at the moment to figure out the days to get the remaining fixtures. There's only remaining. Hold on.
Okay, so you're only really then saying, so on the website, just pay attention to the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, for the next 2 weeks at the moment. Yeah,
and then we'll gradually get the rest of it.
yeah.
There's
Just
only a
gonna wait
handful
till
of
after
games.
Eid and kind of get the teams back in. Obviously, everyone's going to be. We just need to get them back into the routine again. So Thursdays and the Wednesdays we usually play with over 35s. And we'll be sticking to those kind of days. But yeah, we'll be scheduling them in after the 2 weeks.
Okay, so there's all your fixtures.
Is Brugos the second last game or the last game?
That's your last game. Both of them are on the last.
It's a question here. Do any of the old Shields stay in Shields?
That's a good question because most of them are actually from PR, as I would think they call them, PR boys.
Old Shields.
I'm not sure.
Just try to think. No, I mean some of them are from.
Do you know Eggy? Because you used to be from
Maybe
Shields.
Big Saj, I think the captain. I'm
anything-
sure he's from Shields.
If anything, the dream team should be called Old Shields.
Well, yeah. I'm
The official
Gorbo's
Shielders.
man now, but
The official Shielders.
The official Shielders.
Okay, so what else have we got? Any other questions before we wrap up?
there was one, sorry, about this. Where's your phone? There's a comment in the.
So registrations, just to confirm again, are open for tournaments pre-season, which kick off on the 21st of April. The first tournament will be at Kicks, and then the 28th of April at East Kilbride, the 5th of May at Goals, the 12th of May at Super Soccer, and then that leads us nicely 2 weeks to go to the season starts on the 26th of May. Registrations are open online, nothing to pay just now. Just get your captain details in and then start building your squads.
You've probably answered this already, but there was a question here from one of the guys. What are you offering businesses to sponsor a team?
Just the brand exposure mainly. I think I'll give you an example. Like we drove past. I think I was going through Thornley Bank the other day, and I saw that Phonology, the mobile phone shop, and I only recognised that because of the Big Bro Soccer stuff. And so anybody is watching our YouTube channels will see that we've got over 200 videos over there. The channel's projected to hit 1 million views this year alone. Once we kind of go over 5 venues. So, and these videos are going to be here forever. People are going to be constantly going back and watching these videos. We'll be constantly making shorts. So if you've managed to get your business on one of these strips, then it's essentially brand exposure, even after your annual kind of package is finished. You know, if you don't decide to renew the following season, your videos will still be there forever.
Yeah, and is it the same for the banners? The guy was asking me about banners as well. And is that a
banners as well? So
put on the pitch, yeah.
We've got deals with all 5 venues where we can go ahead and start producing banners, pitch side banners. So we're in talks just now with the same people that are taking strip sponsors if they also want a banner placed at the site as well. Now, of course, that's ultimate exposure because most of, like, for example, pitch 2, the camera faces the same way most of the time. So your brand is going to be constantly in picture. So that's another thing. And of course, we've got the social media that they can take advantage of. We'll have their logo posted across our social media stuff, like the transfer market, the player of the match. We can even have it on our thumbnails on the YouTube channels. And if you're taking the business package, which is 2 teams or more, you'll also have a dedicated web page on the Big Bro Soccer site. So, say for example, the Bregos are sponsored by Chilos. And when we have anyone looking at Bregos, we'll be able to click on who are sponsors of Bregos. We can have a unique page on that on our website that can kind of promote the services and products of that sponsor, and then have their link either to their website or maybe their Uber Eats. So as marketeers, we know how the back end of that works. We just want to kind of work with local businesses and sort of, everybody's a winner.
Okay, brilliant. And another question some of the guys were asking is the rules changing for next season?
The rules changing for next season? Oh, good question. I don't foresee any rules changing. The only thing, it's more of a structure thing in terms of the leagues. But I don't see any rules changing. I think just what we need to do is just be a bit more consistent with the rules.
Yeah.
The rules are on the website. If you go into the page, go into the menu.
And it's all for player safety as well, isn't it? Even like to avoid the headers, because one of the guys were asking about introducing headers into the game, and the whole reason we kind of avoided that was to avoid head injuries and just in general anyone getting a serious.
Yeah, any of the rules that we have at the Big Bro Soccer will all be basically at the heart of the rule making will be player safety and respect. So if anything, we'll be getting more stricter with some of the tackles that we maybe let away this season. How we maybe deal with the boards. There was some maybe and there were some suggestions about maybe not allowing any challenges at all in the corners. Some referees have been dealing with that in their own way, but yeah, I think the key thing for us next season with rules is just having them applied consistently.
Brilliant. And just another question that's came in here. What Premier League teams are looking for players? I think he's on the lookout for a move. Is this Bragos? I'm sure he's a Bragos player. Rahman, Rashid. Yeah.
Rahman, Rashid, what?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the Bragos players are looking for transfers. There must be something going on there. I need to speak to Dovey, captain.
So is that one?
Make sure everything's all right in the camp.
What Premier League teams are looking for players? Yes. I think if you go down the list, well, Beechwood. I don't think Beechwood are looking for anybody. They've picked the man. It looks like they're going to get him. NYF might be looking for players. Crookie, I think, seems settled. Beatables are looking for players.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of teams. I think the transfer market is opening in 5 days.
Yeah.
So in 5 days' time, even the over 35s will be able to sign a pre-season preseason contract as well. So that's all kicking off. So I think just get in touch with us if if you want anyone's numbers, or we can certainly hook that up. But also we should mention single players. There is an entry for single players on the website as well. And we encourage single players to get in touch, because I think we've maybe given about 10 single players that entered in October are now consistently playing in the league.
Yeah.
And it's great because these are guys that never knew each other, and we've managed to get them involved. Half of these guys were just new in the country. They saw our stuff on YouTube. They wanted to get involved, and they're now regularly playing. I think Stokers at one point had brought one of the guys in as well. So It's a great way of bringing people together. So single players should get involved as well.
100%. And there's a lot of talk about this. Leo from Top G's potentially on a move to Boca Seniors.
Yeah, there's Boca Seniors have submitted an emergency case to the BBFA.
Yeah.
On the back of them basically leaving the league.
Yeah.
Last week they had basically left the league, and we were a team down. But thanks to Eggy, got on the phone, got to the root case of the root case of the problem, and it turns out that they were just completely short of players. And the boys didn't want to leave, but they just couldn't fulfill getting 5 players, let alone 6, 7. So Eggy made the decision to try and refer the case to the BBFA, because there were players like Bashal players, Top G's, Vino's Cafe. There's lots of teams that
Jeff was in this meeting as well, wasn't he?
Yeah. Players that are waiting to play again. So we've decided to allow, as a one-off situation, for Bockers to basically sign a player that would have otherwise been ineligible. So it's all about trying to help teams, but obviously we can't allow for an open policy where everyone can go and start signing players.
What a player he is, Leo.
He's a good player.
He can potentially change this fight for the mid-table battle that Boca Seniors are currently having at the moment, and maybe put some pressure on the top teams.
Yep.
Bye. That's probably everything we've got covered at the moment.
Is there any more questions that have been asked on the groups, or is that us?
No, that's aye.
So just to clarify then, league restarts 26th of May. Get yourself registered for a pre-season tournament. They're starting from the 21st of April.
8 teams kind of we're looking at in each kind of competition.
No.
Not for the leagues. That's for the cup competition,
yeah. So what you said?
For each competitions in the Premier League, so we're looking to take on 8 to 10 teams in it.
Yeah.
Per league.
So
So we capped.
yeah, we'll have a cap on the teams. Yeah. So 4 tournaments for you to join for the pre-season. Chance for you just to check your teams, check the venues that you want to play in. I think somebody was asking the other day as well, can you participate in more than one? Certainly with the pre-season, you can play in as many tournaments as you want. And with the leagues, you can play in more than one league as well over the venues. So if you wanted to play in kicks and goals, that's absolutely fine. There's no crossover, so that's fine. And as it says, registration is open as well. So just go ahead, get your captain details logged in. And anybody who knows any sponsors that might be interested, get in touch. There's some great commission deals that we're offering. And that's us, Eggy. Thank you very much.
Over and out, guys. Thank you for listening.